to some good news, my brothers. We saw Opibus. They actually
would you mind introducing Opibus?
Okay, introduce Opibus for our listeners who may not know.
Okay, I was not ready for that.
Okay, so Opibus is a company here in Nairobi, Kenya, and what they do is that they do the transition from fuel-based engines and cars into.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Opibus is not Kenyan.
It's both Kenyan and Swedish.
It's a Swedish company and they're implementing things in Kenya.
Okay.
Carry on.
If you go to their website, they have a big Kenyan flag there. So now Opibus is they transfer, they do the transfer, the transition from fuel-based cars to electric vehicles. Now this week they actually did, because if you look at the composition of vehicles in Nairobi, you find that there's a huge number of PSV vehicles, that is public service vehicles, matatus for that matter. And now this week what Opibus has done is that they've introduced the first bus, a PSV bus that is electric. So what they actually did is that they converted one that was using fuel, they converted it into electric. And an interesting thing is that it's not a new bus, it's an old bus. And what they've said is that they're going to launch commercially at the half of the year, at the beginning of the second half of the year. So now they're finishing up with the tests and the likes. And this, I'm very optimistic about this. The future is electric. I have been one of the huge victims of matatus. Have you ever had, you're walking in Nairobi and then a bus passes by and the driver is changing the gear?
Yeah. So if
and there's a huge smoke.
Yeah.
And then you go to the office or wherever you're going and people are wondering, hey, my friend, where did you sleep?
It once happened to me in campus. I was going to class and I think I had a white shirt.
Yeah. And then the lorry, the bus did.
Yeah.
And you get, so I mean it's a very good time. Now we'll be having the air pollution that is happening in Nairobi. The air is going to be cleaner. The future is electric. Now I'm seeing it. Now it's tangible. For me now it's now tangible. I'm seeing the results.
We are going to see the results tomorrow. Like now tomorrow we're going to wake up and the air is going to be cleaner.
I'm very optimistic, Easter, because we've been having conversations about things going electric, vehicles going electric. But for me, I've always been insistent on the fact that if we don't have PSV vehicles going electric, then we won't have a huge difference.
What is the price point for this conversion? Because one of the things you see, this is something that's so easy to sell, right? Because environmental friendliness and all that, we just from having a conversation about metallic whatever is being banned.
Yes.
There's also that conversation could be extended into environmental concerns, but then to the PSV driver or even myself and yourself, who want to look for travel or transport solutions, whichever means I'm going to use, largely is informed by the price point. Can it serve my purposes?
And convenience? Is it available? Is it
available? Yeah. And what's the price point, right?
Yeah, sure.
So what's the price point for these people? Because even if you talk about what do you call them? There's a time we talked about the taxi business. Yeah. Then we talked the Nopia, right? You know them.
Yeah.
So they have that option. If you go to a taxi hailing app, you'd see they have different categorizations of those vehicles that they have. So one of them could be electric, but then you'd find that the electric ones is a bit more expensive.
Do you know what, Easter? I used Bolt this week, and I became a good citizen. Yeah. This is a testimony. What happened?
Are you vying for political seats?
No,
why are you praising yourself?
Relax. So what happened is that I went to Bolt, looked for a cab, then gave me the options. Do you want Boda? Do you want what? Easter loves Boda.
Do you have to tell them?
So what happens is, in Nairobi traffic, it's convenient. So I saw the normal, the contemporary one, Bolt, and then below it was in the same category. There was now the electric one. And you know what? It was just 30 shillings more. than the contemporary one. And I picked that one, the electric one.
Thank you,
a good
thank
citizen.
you, Keegan. Thank you, Keegan, for paying.
So it's not very expensive.
No, again. So what I was just mentioned about behavioral
just to answer,
right?
Just to
Even
answer your question on
differential
to answer your question on the cost of conversion for bus. Right now they're estimating it will be between $60,000 and $100,000.
That's for one bus.
Yeah, that's to convert one bus. So between 6 million and 10 million.
So I already have a bus. To convert it is 6 million. Another 6 million to 10 million. Yeah. That's enough to help me expand my fleet.
That's expensive. You could buy a new bus with that one.
Yeah, exactly. So again,
hopefully it will come down. Huh?
I think with all new technology, with all new technology, it will take a while, but eventually it will come down. But it'll still take. It will be a minute. And for me, that discussion, it's exciting. It's good that we have electric buses. Yeah, for me, I wasn't really totally excited about it as such, because for me, I feel like the bigger problem in Kenya is the public transportation system in general. It needs to be better. It needs to be more efficient. It needs to. There are too many traffic jams in.
But then that is pegged on urban planning. You can't just blame the PSV guys.
Urban planning, but as well as some level of, because you guys, I think a lot of people are now using swivel, for instance, to go to work and the like. A number of people are relying on it every morning because it's more consistent, more comfortable, just more convenient compared to the usual Matatu Owners Association owned matatus.
If the Ministry of Transport could try and subsidize that cost for matatus
of conversion,
I mean, it would be amazing.
So actually, where I was headed with that conversation about conversion cost is the cost of switching from the conventional or the traditional engines, fuel engines, to the electrical engines. If it doesn't make sense to me, I would not do it. I mean it for the money, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, so again, that's very good proposition.
But then there is an interesting development also attached to that, where, and this I saw with the taxis and the Ubers, is what they do is that they convert their engines to use LPG, and the cost of conversion is just 70,000 Kenya shillings. But then you find that once you've converted, there is so much to gain because your
LPG is cheaper.
Because your cost is going to be much cheaper than if you're using fuel. So that's also another alternative.
LPG sounds scary though.
Yeah. You can't carry smokers.
You can't. No, like the security risk of how you're going to make the car very secure, something that needs to be like properly looked at. But yeah, I think it's a good start. But I feel like because even the adoption of electric vehicles, just the cars by themselves, let alone the buses and whatnot, it's still something that is yet to pick up even in the developed markets. So, and we are always, unfortunately, lagging behind. So it's good. Maybe we could be the ones to lead the innovation.
Late adopters.
On this. Normally we are the guys who are late adopters.
I don't like the way you guys normally have this attitude about Africa and Kenya being...
No, it's true. We are late adopters.
For us to grow,
it's just that we don't have the resources.
And improve, we have to acknowledge our weaknesses.
Yeah,
that's just one of them.
So I think it's a good idea, but so far I think we've established it's a little bit expensive. So
not a little bit, Not a little bit. So a minibus is 5M,
I'd
5
love
million.
To see,
so to convert this one is 36 million to 10.
So you have 11 mic.
I'm not doing that.
And you need to find a stable charging port.
I love the environment, but I'm not doing that.
No, but for me, I actually expect companies to lead the way. People who have companies that have staff vans, probably even the UN and this, of course they have vehicles and buses that transport their staff. Be the first people to do this. But then I'd really love to see the Ministry of Transport subsidize that cost, because I mean there is a lot of funds that come in, from the EU, from UNEP, come in, to take care of the environment, even the Ministry of Environment, to try and plug into that space to see that.
Yeah.
Now,
actually, on that note, okay, so surprisingly, it's a total. Yeah. Now that you mentioned corporates and whatnot, I think the corporates who provide transportation for their staff, it's usually quite nice, and although it has an effect to the bottom line, but now that's made me think. Because there are organizations that usually you organize transportation. Maybe there's one van, but then it has to go like around like their route. Yeah. I don't know what's the best.
Very defined route.
Yeah, the route like they use is not maybe the most efficient.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I don't know. I don't think it happens, but I think that if you guys share offices in a building instead of each office.
So you
having it.
carpool.
Yeah, it's more of a carpool, corporate carpool. But now,
So you house pool.
yeah. So if the guys were coming from Thika Road, instead of
It's one stop.
company having to go to izunguke from Kino,
But
then
then
going all the way
utakuwa
around.
unapimia employees wako maisha atiishi hapa ama
No. See, it's just that instead of assuming that this office wako na yao,
Yeah.
van yao, this office kona van yao, this office kona van yao, which usually does like a longer route.
Yeah.
It could be like you share so that van moja inaenda wasi wa Mombasa Road, ingine ni wasi wa Thika Road.
Did you
ingine ni
recently
wasi wa Waiyaki Way.
did they transfer
From the
you to the
old
HR department?
No, me, I'm just.
I mean, you're thinking like
now
you're
that you
thinking
mentioned
like
it,
HR.
it makes sense. Like guys coming together, then you share the cost
Yeah.
as either is a building,
Yeah.
whatever. Actually, now that I think about it,
Just got a business
developers.
idea.
This
Just
guy is
got
a
business
HR man.
idea.
No, this actually should go to developers as well. I feel like
So that they
developers
do what?
and landlords like provide this transportation option, then it will be cost shared by the guys who are having. It's an opt-in option, either for employees or guys, either for employees in the business or the businesses actually that is renting space
Yeah.
out.
Them they're in the real estate business.
No,
I'm actually-
but then
there's a reason
they
I
normally
said I found
provide.
a business idea there, because now you can be the one to go there and tell those people that you guys are in a business complex. Let me provide a transport solution for you guys.
Yeah, I think. Anyway,
We've really digressed.
Let's